Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Infinite Stratos Episode 4. Now, I really like this one. I really did. It starts off with Makigami. Turns out her name isn't actually Makigami. It's Lady Autumn from Phantom Task, the same group that M is a part of. And she activates her IS, and she starts to fight Ichika. Um, which I like this scene. I like the fights. We see Chifuyu and Maya. They're in the little control room, war room place, and it turns out that Chifuyu actually knew the whole time that Phantom Task was going to come after the school festival. So, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what that means just yet. I mean, I do because I read the light novels, but I'm gonna pretend like I don't. Um, so she ends up giving orders to all the personal IS users, which actually isn't true. She only gave orders to the personal IS users that are first year. Nah, actually, no, not even. The other personal IS users apparently aren't important enough to give orders to. Only the 5 that know Ichika. But what are you gonna do? Uh, we go back to the fight with Ichika and Autumn, and it's actually a pretty good fight. Ichika pulls out quite a few good moves. It was pretty surprising actually. There's this one move where he manages to cut off some of Arachne's legs of her IS. There's one where he remembered his training with Tatenashi and he was just going around and around and around, and it was pretty cool to see him take advantage of her like that. But in the end, he got caught by her web and he lost. So, oh well. She takes out this weird thing and puts it on him and says that she's going to steal Byakushiki, but I don't really know what the point of that thing was because she never took it off. I don't think, and Ichika never took it off. It was never destroyed or anything, but it kind of just disappears off of Ichika. Like when Tatenashi shows up and he stops getting electrocuted and shocked and stuff, it shows both Ichika and Autumn, but the thing isn't on his chest anymore. It just disappears. So I don't know. Maybe that's an animation error or something. I don't know, but I don't really know what the purpose of that thing was. Clearly, Ichika didn't lose Byakushiki because he was using it. So I don't really know what that point of that thing was. But before Tatenashi shows up, Autumn actually says something important. She says that it was Phantom Task who kidnapped Ichika back in the second Mondo Grosso. And that's incredibly important because it was because of him being kidnapped that Chifuyu had to leave the second Mondo Grosso and quit pretty much to go save him. And it's because of that stuff that happened that she ended up going to Germany, teaching there, meeting Laura, stuff like that. So this is a pretty important reveal actually. But after this, Tatenashi shows up, and she gets stabbed by Autumn. Um, Later, we find out that's just like a water clone, kind of. But before we find that out, we go to the girls in Ichika's harem, specifically Cecilia and Rin. They're flying through the air and stuff, and they end up seeing M. Not only do they see M, but she's in Silent Zephyr, which is, I believe, the IS that they stole in episode 1 from England. I thought it was the US, but apparently it's England. Um, Apparently it's not just called Silent Zephyrs, it's Blue Tears 2 Silent Zephyrs. And Cecilia's IS is Blue Tears 1, I believe. So, and you can tell they use the same type of BT technology and attacks and stuff like that. But Cecilia, you would think that Cecilia would be able to handle that because it's her, she knows how to handle. She's good with that offense and therefore knows it's the flaws of it. She can, you'd think that she would be a good matchup for M, but she's not. She's using all these techniques that Cecilia can't even do herself, and she's surprised by this. She's saying, out of all the current IS pilots, I'm supposed to have the best compatibility with the BT technology. So why is it that this girl can do things that I can't? So that just goes to show you that M is awesome. Yeah, I feel like whenever M shows up in an episode, she's gonna be my thumbnail every single time because she's just awesome. She deserves it. But after we have the scenes with Cecilia, Rin, and M, we go back to Tatenashi, who reveals that it's a water clone. It turns out that her IS, the mysterious lady, can control water using nanomachines. So she begins to fight Autumn, and it ends up with her. It looks like Autumn's kind of holding her own, and it looks like she's defeated Tatenashi, but then turns out no, no, she hasn't. There's this mist. She used the mysterious lady to create mist. The mist got inside of Arachne and started kind of just like caused all these explosions and things. Um, she tried. At this point, she's like not looking too good. But then Ichika somehow, he's back. He's not healed 100%, I guess, but good enough to fight. He starts fighting her and dominating her at this point because Tatenashi kind of just warmed her up for him. But she tries to escape, and luckily for her, M shows up. And you know what that means? If M showed up, that means she took care of Cecilia and Rin on her own. So, again, proof that she's awesome. She comes in, and Laura and the others, they try to trap Autumn. Ichika goes after M to try and fight her. Doesn't end well. It really doesn't. She literally just like tosses him to the side, sends him like flying somewhere, like through a building, I think, or somewhere. And she goes, destroys the barrier that they created. And then we don't see her, but Squall ends up calling. She calls M and tells him, get out. So M decides, all right, yeah, we're leaving Autumn. So the two of them leave, but they don't just leave. Autumn decides to leave her IS equipment behind. She takes the core, obviously. She takes the IS core, but she decides to leave the equipment behind and have it act as a bomb. Ichika comes flying and like he's going to do something. He doesn't. I thought he was going to try and do some like epic manly crap, like carry the bomb away and like sacrifice himself so that he could save everyone, which, he wouldn't die because he's the main character, but, that would be pretty cool, but nope, he just failed completely. Tatenashi ended up protecting everyone. But we get some funny scenes there with Tatenashi on top of Ichika, and she's pretty much teasing him. At least Ichika didn't, like, push her away. So, I don't know, I guess he's making progress. But after this whole like mini arc and like battle is over, we see Chifuyu and Maya, and Maya saying, I bet you wanted to be the one to help out Ichika, not Tatenashi. And Chifuyu blushes, so that's rare. That was kind of funny. And she says that that's Tatenashi's job, and we learn that Tatenashi, this is at the end of the episode, but we learn that Tatenashi, the Sarashiki family in general, they specialize in these like special secret missions and things. So the reason she was like clinging on to Ichika all this time, these last couple episodes, and training him is because it was her job that I guess Chifuyu or the Academy gave her to protect Ichika because they knew that Phantom Task would be coming for Byakushiki. They stole Silent Zephyrs, they've stolen a couple other ISs, and now they're coming after Byakushiki. So they wanted Tatenashi to protect him as both the Sarashiki and the Student Council president, since she's the strongest student there. I'm sure Chifuyu's obviously stronger. If she had her IS, then she would be. Without her IS, I'm still actually not really sure. It would actually... Chifuyu's pretty legit, even without her IS, so... That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The point is that Tatenashi was protecting Ichika. That's why she was around. But it turns out that she through all of this she found a way to get the crown, which means that she won she won the spot as his roommate. So that's how the episode ends. But before this, there's scenes with Em and Autumn doesn't get along well with Em at all. She really doesn't. She doesn't like her at all. Em looks down on her, talks down to her, which she thinks she's better than her, and she is. Em is better than Autumn, but Autumn doesn't want to believe that. We end up meeting Squall, who is, I guess, the leader. She's ordering them around, so if she's not the leader, she's pretty high up. But yeah, we meet Squall for the first time. And the most important part of this is the fact that M has this locket, and that locket has a picture of Chifuyu in it. And she says she wants to get revenge. Now, since I read the light novels, I'm not really sure how much I can say and not say. But from what we've seen so far, a few things should be clear. One, M looks like Chifuyu. Ichika even confused the two of them in the beginning of the first episode. Two, she has a picture of Chifuyu, and she wants revenge on her, which means she knows, or at least has had an encounter with Chifuyu before. That's really all we know for sure right now. The thing that would make the most sense is to say that they're related in some way, obviously, because they look the same. It's just that M is younger. But we know from season 1 that their family is kind of just the two of them, just Chifuyu and Ichika. I don't remember the circumstances behind that, but as far as Chifuyu is concerned, at least, it's only the two of them, probably Ichika as well, just the two of them. So we don't really know what's going on here. M is just a big mystery right now. She looks like Chifuyu, but she's not family. So anyway, it's all up in the air right now. We don't really know what's going on with her. She's, like I said, she's a big mystery. In the preview, we see her meeting up with Ichika, which I've been looking forward to this moment, but I thought it happened a little bit later. I don't know, it's probably just my memory going bad or something like that, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I thought it was a great episode, to be honest. All the action, the reveals with M, seeing Squall, the reveal of Phantom Test kidnapping Ichika at the second Mondo Grosso. I thought it was a great episode, to be honest. So I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. But that's it for now. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.